Hi, everybody. Oops, I just hit this thing. That's fine. Hi, everybody. I am Rachel D, and I'm going to bring you guys weekly YouTube videos, just kind of talking about life and what I'm going through and how I'm making it. And you're probably thinking, why do I care? Well, you know what? You don't have to. But there's probably a good chance that you might be experiencing the same thing that I am. And sometimes it just feels good to hear from somebody that you can relate to. That's why I watch tons of YouTube videos. So that's my quick introduction. And something I think I want to talk about real quick is friendships. I have a lot of friends, and this will probably be a conversation that I have a lot. But I have a lot of friends and I get along with them. And then sometimes I really don't. And sometimes I wonder if I'm too hard on my friends or if they're too hard on me. And I feel like we have such a hard time communicating as a people because of ego. Ego gets in the way all the time. When you really just want to pick up the phone and call your friend and say, hey, I miss you, or I'm sorry, ego won't allow you to do it. And also outside influences, I notice. Sometimes you can confide in your other friends and, them being supportive will try to validate you and say, you know what, you're right, they're terrible, leave them alone. And that's really not the advice that you needed to hear. You kind of just needed a vent. And as friends, we have this need, I think, to say whatever we need to say to make our friends feel better. And sometimes that can be a bad thing because your friend needs a strong dose of reality sometimes, and sometimes they just need a listening ear, and that can intervene with friendships as well. But I think something that doesn't make friendships very healthy is not being able to properly communicate with each other, and not just, the speaking part of it, but to be able to be honest about how, hey, you did something that did not make me feel good and it really hurt my feelings. And to get an understanding from that, that's very, very important. And to also receive that, I feel like we're really hard to receive that. I'm kind of hard on that sometimes because, I had so much criticism, or it was very critical in my upbringing, that it does kind of get you on the defensive end. And people like myself who come off extremely strong and extremely tough, it's probably one of the most sensitive people. But if I had to give any advice, is to be honest with your friends. If they're friends, they'll feel some kind of way. Their feelings might get a little hurt, but then they'll know how you feel, and then you don't just leave their feelings hurt. I feel like sometimes that's what we do. We say what we want to say, we do what we want to do, and then when our friend is obviously hurt, either you go on the defensive, where it's like, well, you know this, or well, you should have did that or something, and then you don't go back and say, hey, let me make you feel better. That's not saying that your initial feelings was wrong. That's saying that you care about that person's feelings. Like, for instance, if it's a birthday party or something that's important to them and you can't make it, if you say, you know what, I'm going to make it up to you, then you should. But if you kind of don't, or you say you're going to do something, or obviously if that person cares about you, they're disappointed by your actions or your absence. And so, if you care about their feelings, then you will really go out of your way to try to make things right. But if you kind of leave it where it is, a lot of times they won't be over it. And I'm one of those people. Like, if you tell me, oh, I can't come to your event, but I'll make it up to you later, I'm going to be waiting. And then I'm going to be like, wait, what happened? I thought we was going to make it up make it up to me. And then you don't. And then I stay upset sometimes. So, communication is important on both ends. And also pride. Pride kills everything. Have it at appropriate times. When you're dealing with people that you love, like your friends and family, toss it out the window. But number one, of course, is honesty. Number two is pride aside. Number three, just look at the beauty and the joy you see in those people and celebrate it. Especially my women. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate each other. All right, so that's the end of today's video. I wanted to introduce myself. I am a radio show host in Atlanta, Georgia. I also do marketing and I fix credit, so you might be interested in knowing more about that. And I'm going to come on here and talk about things regarding life. And if anybody watches this video, just hit me in the comment section and give your suggestions or your criticism or your praise or whatever it is. And I look forward to being consistent with this. Again, I'm Rachel Daniels, and I will check y'all next week.